start off with a basic sequence of steps here.
It can be as mundane as a morning staff meeting, or it can be as dramatic as preparing for an emergency response. The fact is, every day, all day, the components of an industry-wide culture of safety manifest themselves among the member companies of the Western States Petroleum Association.
Safely providing adequate and reliable supplies of transportation fuels is a demanding job. Even given that these facilities are extremely complex and that it's a really challenging work environment, this industry safety record is excellent. And when you listen to the people that work in these facilities, it is clear that it is due as a direct result of their core commitment to a safe working environment.
Each work venue presents its own potentially hazardous conditions. Oil tankers, refineries, offshore oil rigs, onshore oil extraction, even office spaces, all require special consideration. But the reason WSPA companies have achieved such a stellar safety record is an underlying, broad-based, and rock-solid commitment to a safe workplace.
Creation of a culture like that really requires that you have an open dialogue. We want the input from the workers, management personnel, the contractors that do work here. You have to know where the issues and problem areas are. You have to understand what the people see every day, day in, day in while they're out there. Then you combine that with good practices, good procedures, safety training, and then ultimately, that's the prevention side. You want to be sure that if something does happen, that everybody knows exactly what their roles are, and that would be the emergency response side of the organization.
From the moment they first step through the gate, they go through a multiple-month course around learning the refinery and learning the safety aspects of the work that's out here and the environmental compliance aspects of that. In addition, when they get out to a particular unit or a particular area they'd be working in, they'll learn more about the safety and the aspects there. They'll learn that it's important that we have written procedures, that we write what we say we're going to do, and that we do that, and we do it the same way every single time.
The Alaskan Legend transports up to 32 million gallons of oil. Captain John Moore says communication is critical.
The communications element is really key to actually having a successful, safe operation.
If you were going to work on the cow pump, which breaker would you have to secure to safely work on that pump?
Safety is only a word unless you've got the human participation there.
Potential hazards.
A common thread among WSPA companies? A safety meeting before every project to go through any and all potential hazards, and also important to be reminded of the basics.
Work at a moderate pace, take plenty of breaks, drink plenty of water, and always have lighting elements in good working order.
Of course, once work begins, conditions can change. That's why companies give everyone on the job the power to bring work to a halt if they feel there is a safety issue to address.
We had one recently where a water truck was off the side of a road. He was in the mud from a rainy day, and instead of pursuing or moving any further, they stopped. They pulled their own stop work authority. They got another truck up there, took the water load off of it, and then safely removed that vehicle, so there was no incident.
At the Tesoro refinery in Los Angeles, they enjoy telling visitors they are standing in the safest place they will be that day.
And a lot of people question, how can that be? We're in an industrial environment. We have toxic gases and flammable materials. But what we tell them is that we understand that we have risks here, but we take a lot of steps and a lot of effort to make sure we manage those risks to keep our operations safe for our employees, our visitors, and our community.
Safety is very hard work. It's not banners and flags and those sorts of things. I mean, those things help, but it's just really hard work. Having the right tools in place, making sure everybody understands how to use the tools.
It starts off with the management commitment to safety, and the last element of our program is really continuous improvement, really getting back and checking that you're doing what you say you're going to do.
Keeping a safe workplace means finding small problems before they become big problems, like leaks in the miles of pipes used in oil facilities.
We use a device, a very sensitive device, and it picks up, as he uses this device over connections, piping, meters, equipment, it can detect very small amounts of gas, combustible gas, in the parts per billion range.
The observation process has been here about 6 years. We've done over 11,000 observations. So think about that. That's 11,000 mini safety meetings in the field that we didn't have 6 years ago. It really has changed our culture.
Self-inspection inevitably gives way to company inspectors and then those from official regulatory agencies. Experiences that are welcomed by those on safety's front line.
There's some guys that are really good inspectors, and once they're done with you, you know everything works.
The ultimate reward reflected in these plaques: inspections with 0 incidences of non-compliance. To keep the working environment safe requires full participation, and that means outside contractors need to be schooled in and buy into its value.
2 years ago, we had a streak of some injuries and needed to change the direction of the attitude of the workers, and so we hired a company to help us, and come to find out that it started at the top, which was me. And we had to make changes on just our philosophy, how we thought of safety.
In a Kern County oil field, workers can earn these dominoes that say, "I was caught doing something safe today." Positive reinforcement and a hands-on approach keeps safety front of the mind.
In the summertime, we talk about heat. In the wintertime, we talk about the fog and driving in it, and the cold. And we develop relationships with our people to understand, are they having family issues? Because if you're not 100% focused on your job, you've got some distraction, then you need to be focused on the important stuff. And the important stuff is being safe. And if you can't do that, then we make accommodations for people to be able to work at their full capacity.
The commitment to safety throughout WSPA member companies pays off. For example, the injury rate for workers at oil refineries in California is so tiny that it puts them at the same level of on-the-job injuries as software publishers.
We really owe it to not only the workers, but to our neighbors, our surrounding communities, to ensure a really safe working environment. And I am proud, very proud, that this industry and the people that work in it deliver on that commitment and that promise each and every day.